Hello my friends, David Kessler here and welcome back to the studio. I've gotten quite a few questions recently about, I'm not an abstract painter. I want to learn how to do abstract paintings, but I don't know how to start with a composition. How do I understand how to start with a composition? So, a couple of years ago I developed a little cheat sheet sort of a thing. It's a PDF that I print out and give to all my workshop students. And what I did is I took only 10 of the classical design compositions, which in some cases are more than a century old, and I modified them a little bit to be used as compositions to start abstract paintings. And I've shown those here. This vertical, cruciform, diagonal, radiating, curvilinear, triangular, unbalanced, balanced, group mass, and horizontal. Look, these are just one way to get started with a composition for abstract painting. It's by far not the only way. There's many, many ways. But I wanted to address one of those ways today since I've gotten so many questions about it recently. Okay, so you can see I've blown up the drawings that I have on the PDF. And by the way, if you want one of these PDFs and you think it would be helpful for you, click the link in the description and download one for yourself so that it will help you get started in one way with some compositions for abstract paintings. Now, so for instance, a cruciform is a pretty standard, whether you're doing figurative work or landscapes or any other work, it's a very common way to appropriate, a composition for a painting. So that's one. Diagonal, of course, one, I use that one all the time. Radiating, where everything sort of comes from one point and moves outward. These are all, I didn't make any of these up. These are standard things that were available, a century ago for painters. And many people have published similar compositional arrangements and designs to start with. And there again, I have appropriated those and I've made those so that they're useful for abstract painting. So for instance, if you're talking about, an unbalanced approach, this is sort of an unbalanced composition here, right? Or one that may be for, a triangular sort of a 3-point thing where, you have 3 major shapes and then things begin to happen in and around those shapes. Or you might want to think about a group mass, which this is obviously a landscape sort of an approach, but I use that quite often for my paintings where I have a group mass where all the action happens, and then there's plenty of areas in the painting where nothing really happens, right? So it's a group mass where all the main stuff happens, right? Like I say, these are fairly standard things, but it is a good way to get you started if you've never done abstract painting before. If you have no idea where to go with it or how to begin a composition, these 10 designs will give you that place to start. Again, it's not the only way to start. There are many, many, many ways to start. And if you're a beginner, this is a good thing for you. If you're an old hand and experienced like me, it might not be beneficial for you, right? And, and there's many, many ways beyond these to develop abstract composition. Now, some of these I use, some of them I never use. I've used all of them in the past. Lots of them I don't use them now, and I have a more sort of a free-form way that I develop compositions. But these are a good place to start. If you're not familiar with abstract painting, if you've not done it before, these are a great way to start. Remember, if you want one of these PDFs for yourself to use to help to develop compositions for your abstract paintings as a beginner, click the link in the description, get one for yourself, keep it in your studio, and I know it'll be helpful for you. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't before, share it with your friends. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.